Racism, the prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group, typically one that is minority or marginalized. My question for my research paper is, how has Asian hate crime worsened today due to the pandemic and being an immigrant in a foreign country?
The surge in hate crimes against Asian Americans only getting worse, and some of the accounts are extremely violent.
Investigators are working to locate the men who attacked an elderly Asian man. This is over the weekend.
Sides with a disturbing surge of racist attacks against Asian Americans.
The reason I chose to write about this topic is to spread awareness and educate those who are not aware of the current chaos around the world. As an Asian myself, this has motivated me to write a research paper on this topic to further look into the surge of Asian hate crime. One thing I discovered from this topic was where Asians first populated in the United States and why they came here. The first Asian population in America were migrant Chinese workers who fled to the United States in order to find a living wage. Many of these workers worked on railroads where conditions were poor and where a lot were mistreated. A lot of these migrant workers had no choice but to work in order to make an honest living. The most interesting aspect to my research paper is how the coronavirus pandemic put many Asian lives at risk. This graph shows the 2,808 reported incidents from only March to December 2020, where 70% showed verbal harassment, 21.4% showed shunning, 8.7% showed physical assault, 6.4% showing being coughed on or spat on, and 8% showing workplace discrimination or refusal of service. The information that influenced my initial perception of this question was all the different attacks that have been happening since the beginning of the pandemic until now. All these terrible, harsh attacks has made me speak out and look further into what was going on and why this was happening in the world. My conclusion for this video is that racism is not okay for any race or discrimination. Asian hate crime has been worse today and it should be stopped soon and it should not be something that is tolerated.